All right, now we're going to continue with this
neighbors.
Talk about these two guys.
And how could your God be that omnipotent and devise a book where we can't distinguish between the law of Israel and God's law?
Okay, right here, he's saying that we cannot distinguish between the the law of Israel and the law of God. But what he needs to realize is that there is something called the New Covenant, and this is seen in the New Testament. Jesus, whenever he's at the Last Supper with his disciples, he says, "This is my blood," and it's going to be the New Covenant. This is the start of the New Covenant. And what does that mean? That means that the old law, the law of Moses, the law of all the other covenants, Noah's covenant, Adam, all those covenants are now obsolete. We now live according to the New Covenant. So that's the explanation there. I think he needs to read the New Testament. And I'm going to put a link if you need to, if you want to learn more about the New Covenant. I think this is a great link. This video explains it quite well. You can only watch the first few minutes, or if you want, you can watch the whole thing. But it's a in-depth explanation, and it all ties up with all the verses. It's not like the Bible's contradicting itself.
I mean, they're interwoven, where we have metaphor and fact, and nobody can distinguish the two. We don't know what we're...
We can distinguish it because of the New Covenant.
Supposed to take literally, what we're supposed to take figuratively. Was it actually a tree? I mean, come on. We can't distinguish this. It doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't...
Okay, if you go to the Bible with an open mind and you read through it, you come out with the message. A consistent message that ties up together. It all makes sense. But I think he's just trying to pick at the little points and say, well, I don't know what this means, so therefore the whole Bible is not true.
It doesn't matter how it's translated, and it doesn't matter what version. But if it was written by an omnipotent being, there would be one version.
Right.
And there would only be one way to...
Right here, I think he just has a problem with authority, and he wants to have everything his own way, the way that makes him feel comfortable. The same with this other guy.
Because it would be written well.
Actually, it wouldn't be written at all. What's wrong with your God just actually coming down and talking?
This guy's making demands to God. He's basically putting himself above God. He's saying, God, you need to come down here, and you need to speak to me, because I can only believe in you if you speak to me. But the Bible shows time and time again that there's worth in trusting the Lord. There's worth in the fear of the Lord. What's the beginning of all wisdom? The fear of the Lord. So,
talking to people. Why can't he just say, hey, you know that stuff that's in the book? Some of it's not quite right, and I'm here to actually correct it.
Yeah, Shem and Habab wrote that, and they were drunk at that time. But let me get it straight.
Yeah. What you've done is not read and studied the Bible. You've read a passage, and then you've gone out and found apologists who have given you excuses in order...
This is an argument based on his disbelief, which is a logical fallacy.
...to rationalize it. The fact of the matter is, the book says X, and I don't care how you read it or what you read into it.
And that's just talking about what we talked about in the other video. You can go check that out on my channel. Well, thanks for watching. That's it. I think these two guys are just trying to bully the callers. He even hung up on this guy. Didn't really let him talk at all. The guy was kind of nervous, I think. But anyway, that's another story. Thanks again.